Students, last class we studied about discussions of Newton's laws and application of Newton law. So one of the important application is free body diagram, right? Then we solve some numericals based on Newton's law, okay, by using that free body diagram. So here we solve some more problems based on Newton's laws, okay. So the first problem, it says that two blocks of mass 2 kilogram and 4 kilogram are kept on a surface as shown in figure. Here we have two masses, 2 kilogram, 4 kilogram kept on a surface. Okay. Find the normal contact force. So we have to find the normal force between the blocks between 4 kg and surface. Here we have two contacts, right? So the contacts between 2 kg and 4 kg and 4 kg surface, right? So we have two contacts. We have to find two forces. So the first one is between the blocks. So between these two blocks, we have one contact, like so we have to find the contact force between these two blocks. Okay, so we take the value of G. Take value of G equal to 10 meter per second square. So conventionally it is 9.8 meter per second square, but here given options are got from take the value G as 10 meter per second square. Okay, so we start to solve this problem. First I take this block 2 kilogram. So I draw free body diagram for this 2 kilogram mass. Okay, so this is 2 kilogram. What are the forces acting on this 2 kilogram? First one is weight, right? What is the formula for a weight? W equal to mg. If you take W1 equal to m1g, then it will be 2 into 10, which is equal to 20 Newton. Okay, so 20 Newton force acting downwards. Now this mass 2 provides some normal force in upwards to the mass 1, right? So we have to find that normal force. Okay, so mass 2 provides normal force in upwards. So we have to find this normal force, right? So how to find this normal force? If you watch this, these two objects are at rest position, right? No force is acting on these two objects to make a displacement. So these two objects are at rest position. If an object is at rest position, then what is the force acting on that object? Nothing but 0, right? So we take F net equal to 0. Why? Because no force is acting on this object, no displacement on this object. So these two objects are at rest position. So there must be no force acting on the object. Clear? Okay. So here, what is mean by F net? F net means total force acting on the object, right? Total force acting on the object. So in this 2 kilogram mass, what are the forces acting? In downwards we have weight, right? So weight acting in negative y-axis. Weight acting in negative y-axis because it is acting in downwards. So here we have positive y-axis, here we have negative y-axis, right? So this 20 Newton force acting in downwards, so it is negative force, okay, in negative y-axis. So negative y-axis, we take our direction as negative. In positive y-axis, we have n force, that is normal force, which we have to find. So that force acting in positive y-axis, so we take it as plus. Okay, so what is the total force F net? F net means nothing but, as I said already, total force F net equal to summation of or vector addition of all the forces, right? F1 plus F2 plus F3, whatever forces acting on that object, we have to add all these forces. Okay, so if I add all these forces, then this is my F1, which is in positive y-axis, plus this is my F2, which is in negative y-axis. So I take minus F2. equal to 0, right? So if you solve this, we get F1 minus F2 equal to 0, okay, which means F1 equal to F2, okay. So here our normal force is F1 and weight force is F2. So I can take N equal to 20 Newton, right? Clear? So what is the force acting between these two blocks? 20 Newton. Clear? Why we take it? The force is equal to weight because no force acting on the object. So it must be in balanced condition. It did not move. It is at rest position. So whenever an object is at rest position, the weight of the object must be equal to normal force of the object. Clear? So option A is correct. We have 20 Newton. Okay. So let's see between 4 kg and surface. So in this condition, what is our downward force? So this surface bear this total weight, right? 6 kg. Total weight is 6 kg. So this surface hold this 6 kg weight. Okay, 6 kg masses. Then what is it? Weight. It is nothing but W equal to M1 plus M2 into G. Right? Why we add these two? Because on the surface we have two masses. All these two masses push the surface in downwards. So this surface hold the weight of these two masses. Right? So we get W equal to 2 plus 4, 6. 6 into 10, 60 Newton. Right? So here we apply the similar condition. In negative y-axis we have 60 Newton. These two blocks are at rest position. So the normal force between this and the surface must be equal to the weight force. Right? Similarly apply the same condition. Okay. So in negative y-axis I have 60 Newton. Right? In negative y-axis. So my F2 will be 60. Okay. It is at a rest position. So no force acting. Total force is 0. Then my upward force acting in positive y-axis. So we put plus N. Okay. So here N equal to 60 Newton. Clear? So option A is correct. 20 Newton and 60 Newton. Clear? Hope you understand. In the second problem, we have two masses on a surface and we apply force on mass M1. Okay, we apply some force of 5 Newton. Okay, so we push these two blocks with a force of 5 Newton. Right? So whenever we give some force, then there must be an acceleration. Right? So we have to find acceleration of two blocks. That is our first question. Then contact force between M1 and M2. Okay. Solution. Here we take these two blocks, these two masses, we consider it as one whole mass. Right? So whenever we apply some force to mass 1, the same amount of force will transfer to mass 2. Why? Because these two are attached. Okay. So if we push the block M1, if it is move with certain speed, then the M2 also move with same speed. Right? So I give force to M1, then these two masses move with same speed. For that, I consider these two masses as one. Okay, whole mass. So what is my total mass now? My total mass equal to M1 plus M2, which is equal to 3 plus 4, 7 kilogram. Okay. So now my force applied to the mass of 7 kilogram. Then what is the acceleration? So simply apply Newton's second law. F equal to ma. What is our force? Force is 5 Newton. Mass 7 kilogram. Then we have to find acceleration. So acceleration will be 5 by 7 meter per second square. Clear? So this is our acceleration. Okay, so if mass 1 move with 5 by 7 meter per second square, then definitely mass 2 also move with the same acceleration, since these two are attached with each other. Clear? Then move to the next subdivision. Contact force between M1 and M2. Okay, so here we take the mass M1. I draw free body diagram for mass M1. So what are the forces acting on mass M1? Here we have weight force, right, in downwards, and in upwards we have normal force provided by this surface, right? So these two forces are in y direction. Just we saw in similar previous problem, these two forces, that is normal force provided by the surface on M1, M1 provided weight force down the surface, these two forces acting in positive y-axis as well as negative y-axis, right? But there is no movement or acceleration in y-axis. Why? Because we applied force in x-axis. So these two masses only move in x-axis. Clear? Why we apply force in x-axis, right? So here I can say there will be no acceleration in y-axis. If there is no acceleration, then there will be no force acting in y-axis, right? Why? The object cannot move in upwards or downwards, because we applied force in x-axis. So object either move in right side or left side. Here we apply force from left side, so object will surely move in this direction. Okay, so you simply neglect this ay fy, that means the normal force and weight. Okay, because here our only motive is to find the contact force between these two masses. Okay, so you take M1 and just figure out what are the forces acting on M1 in x direction, because it is moving in x direction. So what are the forces acting? Here we have applied force of 5 Newton. Okay, then normal force provided by the mass 2 towards mass 1, right? So mass 2 applies some normal force towards mass 1, right? So mass 1 is 3 kilogram. Clear? Because whenever there is a contact, M1 applies some force on M2 in this direction. Similarly, M2 applies some force in this direction. See, we only concentrate about mass 1, 3 kilogram. So here M2 apply a normal force in this direction towards M1. Clear? So now we are going to apply Newton's second law to find the normal force. Okay. So apply Newton's second law. F net equal to ma. Okay. So what is F net here? F1 plus F2. If you see closely, our F1, that is applied force 5 Newton acting towards positive x-axis, right? So in x-axis we have origin, so this is taken as plus x, this is minus x, right? So our 5 Newton force acting in positive x-axis. So our F net, my F1 is 5. Okay, clear? Then my normal force, which is provided by the mass 2 acting towards the mass 1 in negative x-axis, in negative x-axis, right? So I take minus n. So this is my F net. Clear? Okay. Then mass of object 1, 3 kilogram. Then acceleration, which we found already, 5 by 7 meter per second square. Okay, object move in this direction. Okay, the net force act in positive x-axis. Clear? Net force act in positive x-axis. Clear? So mass into acceleration. From this equation, we can find the value of normal force, that means contact force between two masses. So I take minus n equal to 15 by 7 minus 5. Okay, so this 5 go to the right hand side of the equation, so I get minus 5. Okay, so if we solve this, I get minus n equal to 15 minus 35 divided by 7, right? If you take LCM, we get 15 minus 35 divided by 7. So here minus n equal to minus 20 by 7. So n equal to 20 by 7 Newton. Okay, so this is our contact force which is acting between these two masses. Clear? The third problem which says that apply Newton's second law to a mango hanging from tree. So mass of the mango is given as 400 grams. Okay, so here a mango hanging from tree, we have to apply Newton's second law to this mango. So we usually apply Newton's second law to find the force, right? So in this mango, we are going to draw a free body diagram. Okay, so what are the forces acting on the mango? Yeah, think about it. What are the forces acting on the mango? Yes, gravitational force, right? So we have mg here. Then there must be tension force acting on the mango, right? So here, if you draw a free body diagram, then we have, so this is our object, considered mango. Okay, so it's hanging on a tree, so there must be some support, a cord. Okay, it hanging on a cord, a small branch, so it has some weight mg. Then what's the direction of tension force? Okay, it is hanging on a tree, so whenever an object is hang, a tension force is created on the string, right, or on the rope. So here tension force provided by the mango, but as I said already, we always take tension force away from the object. Okay, so we always take tension force away from the object, means in upwards. So our object is hanging downwards, we take tension force in upwards. Okay, so we take tension force on the cord, on the small branch. Clear? So now apply Newton's second law. As we know, F net equal to ma. So if you see this diagram, the mango is rest or moving. Absolutely it is at rest position, right? So we did not apply any external force, so the mango is at rest position. So whenever an object is at rest position, then what will be the F net value? So F net will be 0. Okay, here our F net value will be equal to 0. Okay, so what is our F net? Total force acting on the mango. What are the total force? Tension force acting positive y-axis, weight force acting negative y-axis, right? So I can take T minus mg equal to 0. Clear? So from this equation I take T equal to mg, and further I can write T equal to, what is mass? Mass of the mango 400 grams. So I can write 0.4 kilogram. So kilogram is SI unit of mass. We have to convert it into SI unit. So 0.4 kilogram. And then gravity, if I take 10 as gravity, then I get tension force as 4 Newton. Clear? So here you have to remember always tension force acting away from the object. Okay? Thank you, students. Thanks for watching.
Good morning and very warm welcome, students. This is our problem solving session, right? So this is our first session. So today here we are going to discuss very easiest problem and also very interesting problem, right? So the first problem here we are going to discuss is Calculate the velocity of a moving body of mass 5 kg whose linear momentum is 2.5 kg meter second per minus 1. See, I am repeating. Calculate the velocity of a moving body of mass 5 kg whose linear momentum is 2.5 kg meter second per minus 1. So the given value is mass is equal to 5 kg. Mass is equal to 5 kg and linear momentum, which means P is equal to 2.5 kg meter second per minus 1. So now here we are going to discuss about the concept of linear momentum, right? Hope everyone know the formula for linear momentum, which means P is equal to mv. So they are asking us to find the value of velocity, which means v is equal to p by m. Already they have given the value for mass m and linear momentum p. So substitute the value in the formula. V is equal to 2.5 kilogram meter second per minus 1 divided by mass 5 kilogram. So kilogram we also can neglect it, and 5 is equal to 0.5. 1 5s are 5, 5 5s are 25, and 2.5, which means 0.5. So the value of velocity v is equal to 0.5 meters second per minus 1. So this is very easiest problem. They have given the value of mass and linear momentum. We know the formula for linear momentum. P is equal to mv. Product of mass and velocity gives the value of linear momentum, right? From this we get the value for velocity in the formula. V is equal to p by m. So the final answer is v is equal to 0.5 meters second per minus 1, right? So the second problem here we are going to discuss is a door is pushed at a point whose distance from the hinge is 90 centimeter with a force of 40 Newton. Calculate the moment of the force above the hinge, right? So a door is pushed at a point whose distance from hinge is 90 centimeter with a force of 40 Newton. Calculate the moment of the force above the hinge. Here they are asking for the moment of the force. Hope everyone know the formula for moment of the force, which is capital M is equal to F into D, which means force into distance, right? So here they have given the value of force 40 Newton and for distance 90 centimeter, right? So before solving this, we have to convert this 90 centimeter into meter scale. Okay, so 90 centimeter in meter scale we can written as 0.9 meter. I think everyone know this. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, right? So capital M is equal to F into D. So F is 40 Newton into D is equal to 0.9. So 9 fours are 36. So 36, 0 and 1 point will be neglected, and 36 Newton meter. So this is the value of moment of the force capital M is equal to 36 Newton meter. Everyone, okay. Now let's move to the third problem. So our third problem, at what height from the center of the earth the acceleration due to gravity will be 1 by 4th of its value of the earth? At what height from the center of the earth the acceleration due to gravity will be 1 by 4th of its value of the earth, right? So here we want to find where will be the gravity becomes 1 by 4th of g value from center of the earth, right? So we already know the gravity g and radius of the earth capital R and mass of the earth capital M, right? So acceleration due to gravity formula is small g is equal to capital G capital M divided by square of the distance of the earth, right? So g is the universal gravitational constant, which is constant value. Capital M is the mass of the earth and capital R squared is the radius of the earth, right? So here they are asking for the height from the center of the earth. So the R dash becomes R plus H, right? And they are asking for the 1 by 4th of gravity. So G dash is equal to G g dash is equal to g by 4 because they are asking for the 1 by 4th of the gravity, right? So here we know the formula for small g and we don't know the formula for g dash. So we can rewrite as g dash is equal to capital G capital M divided by capital R dash square, because if the gravitational will be changed, g dash means the radius of the earth changes to R dash, right? So by rewriting the equation g by g dash, we get the value of capital G capital M divided by capital R square divided by capital G capital M divided by capital R dash the square. So GM will be cancelled and we can get the equation as R dash divided by capital R the whole square, right? So in LHS we have G by G dash. So G by G dash is equal to R dash, the value of R dash is R plus H divided by R the whole square. And here we are having G dash is equal to G by 4. If G by G dash means we get the value 4 is equal to R plus H divided by capital R the whole square, right? Yes. So to neglect this square, we divide this 4 by 2 means we get the value of 2 is equal to capital R plus H divided by capital R. We also write the equation as capital R by R plus H by capital R. So we get 1 plus H by R, right? So if we move this 1 to LHS side means the positive 1 will be as negative. So 2 minus 1 is equal to H by R and 1 is equal to H by R, which means capital R is equal to H. Substitute this value in this formula, right? So R dash is equal to capital R plus capital H is equal to capital R. So R dash is equal to R plus R is equal to 2R. So at the height, which means 2R, we get the acceleration due to gravity will be 1 by 4th of its value of the earth. Yes, from this answer we can conclude that from the center of the earth the object is placed at twice the radius of the earth, which means that is answer is 2r. R dash is equal to 2r. So the center of the earth, from the center of the earth the object is placed at twice the radius of the earth. The next problem, the position of the particle is represented by y is equal to ut minus 1 by 2 gt square. So here they are asking us to find what is the force acting on the particle and what is the momentum of the particle, right? So to find out the force, we want to find out what is the acceleration. So we know the formula for acceleration is equal to a is equal to d square, a is equal to d squared y by dt square, right? So we also rewrite this equation as a is equal to dv by dt. Here v is nothing but velocity. To find out the velocity, we can write as v is equal to dy by dt. Here dy is nothing but the position of the particle, right? So the equation we can write as d by dt of ut minus 1 by 2 gt squared. By differentiating this with respect to time, we get the equation as u, because t becomes 1 and u minus the 2 will come front and 2 into 1 by 2 gt. Here 2 will be neglected, right? So the answer is u minus gt. This is the velocity. So we get the value of velocity v is equal to u minus gt. Yes. So they ask us to find force and momentum. So we know the formula for momentum is equal to p is equal to mv. Right. So m, we know the value for v, u minus gt. So this is what momentum. Okay. Next they have asked for force. Force F is equal to ma. We know that a is equal to dv by dt. So a is equal to dv by dt, and the value of v, we have find out that vu is equal to u minus gt divided by dt. So by differentiating this, we get my m into minus g. So f is equal to m minus mg. right? So this negative sign implies that force is acting in opposite direction. Okay, so here we get the answer. For momentum, P is equal to m into u minus gt, and for force F is equal to minus mg. So the next problem here we are going to discuss: a particle of mass 2 kilogram experiences two forces. One is F1 vector, F2 vector. What is the acceleration of the particle? They have asked us for acceleration. A particle of mass 2 kilogram experiences two forces F1 and F2. What is the acceleration of the particle, right? So we know that Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. They have asked acceleration A is equal to F by m. So here they have given two forces. One is F1 and F2. So the net force, which means total force, F is equal to F1 plus F2, right? So the value of F1 is equal to 5 I cap plus 8 j cap plus 7 k cap. F2 vector is equal to 3 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 3 k cap, right? So F is equal to 5 I cap plus 8 j cap plus 7 k cap plus 3 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 3 k cap. So the direction I, j and k is similar, so we can add it as direct. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 I cap. 8 minus 4 plus 4 j cap, because the highest value is positive. Then 7 plus 3, we know that 10 cap. So here we find out the net force F1 plus F2. So substituting the value of F in the acceleration formula, A is equal to 8 I cap plus 4j cap plus 10k cap, right? So mass value m is equal to 2, so divided by 2, 8 by 2, 4 by 2 and 10 by 2. So 4 2s are 8, 4 I cap, 2 2s are 4, 2j cap plus 5k cap. So the acceleration A is equal to 4 I cap plus 2j cap plus 5k cap, right? So here we have discussed 5 problems. In our Zoom meeting, let us discuss some important and different problems which deals with laws of motion. Okay, thank you.